All right, folks. Hello, Andrew here, Top Fitness Strategies. Yes, we had some technical difficulties on my end. Sorry about that. I'm starting a little bit late, but have no fear. We got something special for you guys this evening. But until we get started, sorry, I'm discombobulated here because all the technical stuff on my end. As always, I have a sponsor, and my sponsor is the recent book that I put out there, 102 at-home common sense health and fitness tips. Yes, they are not the type that you're going to show a workout in every tip. No, this is health and fitness tips around your house. And a lot of these have silly little videos I did. For instance, try watching me jump rope. Ha ha, that's funny. Yeah. Anyway, I linked to it there, topfitnessstrategies.com, tips 102. Okay, so just type that in. Also, I put links to YouTube and Facebook and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. All right, tonight we have something special, something I've never done personally before. I'm happy to do it. I actually have two guests. And well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring them both on, and then we'll tell a story about how we got here. So make sure I hit the right buttons here. There we go. Everybody's on. So my guest this evening, Laurie Blizzard, and her coach, Holly Renee. Laurie is a NPC Masters Bikini competitor. So there you go. So welcome, Laurie. Welcome, Holly.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay. So what we're going to do this evening, now usually what I do is I have my guests send me a bio, and Laurie was great. She sent me a great bio, but it's a lot of personal stuff that if I start reading it, I'm going to either cry or butcher. So I'm gonna let her tell her story of how she got there and everything else. But before you do that, I want you to add to any bio you have from here on out. You are also a guest on Top Fitness Strategies. Okay, so you got to promise me you'll put that in there somewhere.
Yes, for me. Sure.
So, all right. And before, I always tell about how I met my guests. Okay? And so Laurie and I are on the same Fit Over 50 YouTube, Facebook page. Mm-hmm. And she is galore, and she looks fantastic. It's great. I just muddle around and people look at me and they click off of me, one of those kind of things. So I am also a school teacher. And Laurie, about, 2-3 weeks ago, posted a little video montage of where she was and where she has come to in her progress in her fitness life. And as I was talking about this, talking about fitness to one of my classes, one of the girls, junior, I think, sophomore, junior in high school, let's say she's not as petite as she could be. All right, we'll just leave it at that. And I said, do you guys want to come over here and look at it? And she's the only one in the class that came over to my desk and looked at the video. And you can see her eyes just lighting up, like almost like a motivational type thing. But she didn't say anything because, we're Laurie, you and I are about the same age. We're old people to them. They're not going to acknowledge we look good. They want to know if I look good. I guarantee that. But they do it for you. But her eyes lit up, and I did not know Laurie from Adam. She did not know me. I just sent her a nice message saying this is what happened, and we started talking back and forth. Next thing I know, I said, hey, I want to book you as a guest, and she was nice enough to do that. So I'm going to quit yapping. So Laurie, tell me, was that accurate, what I said?
Yes.
Okay. And so as we were talking,
you made my day, actually. Thank
you. As we were talking, she says, I'm not going to come on unless I have my coach, Holly, with me. So have it both, and ultimate guy fantasy here. I'll just leave it at that and let you know how you want to right there, okay? So, all right, so Laurie, now I'm going to let you talk for a while. Tell us about you and where you came from and how you got to where you are now.
So I was actually, I didn't ever play sports in high school. I was not athletic. I did not work out. I was one of those naturally very thin women that back in the day could pretty much just eat anything. I ate a lot of junk food, fast food, the whole thing. And I didn't know about the whole health aspect of it. And I was just, that was always, it was just I had a high metabolism and just always thin. But then the 30s happened. And I also had a very active, always had an active job. And I think that helped. The 30s happened and I had a non-active job and things just started changing. And I think it kind of caught up to me. And I think one day for me, it really started hitting probably the late 30s. And the clinching moment for me was when I was just before I was about 45. I was prom dress shopping with my daughter, and I'll never forget this moment.
45 years old.
Yeah, I was 45,
Okay,
and I had
okay.
never done any kind of like, I never worked out, I never lifted a weight. Like I said, I ate whatever I wanted.
Mhm.
And but my body changed a lot. And so one day I was prom dress shopping with my daughter, and I looked in a full length mirror in the dress shop, and it was just one of those pivotal moments when I realized that I wanted to change. I wanted to change. And I'm one that when when I set out a goal, I just go,
Good for you.
and I just don't look back. And that's just how I've been like that all my life. And when I made the decision, it wasn't like I didn't hem or haw, and I just went for it. But it has been, and the reason I brought Holly on is because this did not happen overnight.
Mhm.
And my whole thing is to tell people, look, I didn't start till I was 45. I did not do any fitness or clean up my diet or learn about the healthy eating, and it's been a learning process. And I have continued to move forward and continue to evolve to where I am today. And that's where I'm at now. I start when I did some Spartan events for a while with my husband.
Mhm.
I started with Holly doing fitness boot camp type group classes, started cleaning up my diet. And it was just a little more continuous as I went along. And I had for a few years when my body started changing and I started losing some weight. And I had a dream goal, but I always thought it was a dream because I was too old at the time. And that's what I told myself, that I wanted to do a bikini competition. I had just kept telling myself I waited too long. I'm too old. What is a almost 50-year-old? How does that make sense? Get it standing up on stage in a little teeny tiny sparkly bikini. And I just for a couple of years that was a dream, but I just kept putting it off, that I had waited too long. And my milestone birthday was coming, and I'm like, you know what? I see too much of women that start dreading that 50, dreading turning 50. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, you know what? No, I want to embrace it. I will be honest, when I approached Holly was she was my coach trainer. She had done these competitions, and I approached her and said, this is something that I would like to do. How do you feel about coaching me? And I'd be one, your first bikini prep client. What do you think about that? And this was shortly before turning 50. And she just, absolutely, we can do this. I told her, though, I'm not ready to go public about this. And I'll tell you, Andrew, though, why. I really worried. I worried about what the perception would be. What would people think of a 50-year-old woman, like I said, getting up on a stage in a little bikini? And I honestly was prepared to get judged for it.
Okay, all right. I got to stop you right
Oh,
there.
I'm sorry.
No, because you're answering a question I'm going to ask later. So,
Okay.
go on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, well, I'm the host. I have to ask the question before you answer it. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was just
All right.
telling my story.
Okay, Holly, let me get to you now. So, tell us a little bit about your background. Now, I'm also a personal trainer, but you're a lot higher level than I am. So, I have the same thoughts as you do about this, but once again, you're a lot on a higher level. So, if I bring this up because if I say something that's an inside joke, we'll both know we'll laugh.
More than likely, yeah.
Well, tell me about your background, Holly.
I actually started training, I would say it's been about 8 years now. And it went from boot camp style training to, coaching and personal training and competing as well. But this has been probably as a trainer and coach, to see somebody just grow to those levels is absolutely incredible. It's been quite an experience, and it's been great. It's been some wild things for sure, but it's been great.
Now, have you competed as well in the past, Holly?
I have, yeah.
Okay. Now, if this is too personal, don't answer. But everybody knows that I'm over 50, and everybody knows that Laurie's over 50. Are you in our age group?
35.
I can say you look a lot younger than me.
Okay,
all right. So, what are you doing hanging out with those old folks, for crying out loud?
You guys are the best.
Okay, so then my next question is, how did you guys meet? How did you guys hook up?
So I was actually training at a boot camp that her husband and her daughter came into. So it was actually really cool, because then I got to meet them as a family, and then it just continued to grow and evolve from there.
Mm-hmm. And Holly had just started there shortly before we joined. I'm pretty sure, I think just a couple of months before, as a trainer when we joined the boot camp session.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And Holly may be 35. She's an old soul, though. That's why we get along.
This is true. This is so true.
or is it maybe you're a young soul?
Yeah,
right?
well,
What the heck?
That too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when I first was going to promote this, and a little inside the back cave for everybody watching right now, or watching the replay, or what have you, when I first showed Laurie my promotional thing I was going to do, I said that here's Laurie and her trainer Holly, and Laurie says, no, not a trainer. It is my coach.
Yeah, so, she is also a trainer. Well, yeah, she is a trainer too. But
and I absolutely love that, and I love the fact that you made sure we said that properly. And so in your mind, so then, because a lot of people don't. What's the word I'm looking for? Don't distinguish or differentiate.
Except Holly is all of it for me. she also personal trains me, but the whole thing is she is my coach. So so she also she is a personal trainer as well, but primarily she's my coach. So
okay. So then, Holly, what do you think is the difference between a personal trainer and a coach?
Okay, so, and I feel like this is a really good way to really differentiate the two of them.
Good.
I love personal training, and I have clients that I personal train that they are there for that 45 minutes to an hour. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yes, you check in on them, you check up with them, you check their food or meal plans, or whatever it may be that you're training them on. But the difference then with a coach is that they are literally there through everything. And I mean, with a trainer, so to speak, in say competing, a trainer is going to train you to get to stage. Sorry, Laurie's just throwing us around.
Holly, you got your hands full of this one.
Sorry. Keep going.
I like it. See that? Okay, so here's a little insight for you. This is how our training sessions with everybody goes. You never know. You never know. It's just all over the place. It's a good time. You never know. But it really is family. And it's, with her getting to stage as the coach, there is actually quite a few of the girls who are actually together. And it's like a family mentality. So we're there through it all. And it's, Laurie just actually recently competed at nationals. She did absolutely amazing. And nationals was held in Arizona. We had another competitor that went on stage as well. So it felt like a family event to all literally go and be through all of it. And it's just a big difference of emotional support and someone to stand there and to really just help you get through even the ups and downs of, when you hit motivation or dedication. Where motivation, as a other trainer, it comes and goes. It's a feeling. And for somebody who's going to stand by you and be dedicated to see you get there.
Right. If for those of folks that are just joining us, I'm talking with Laurie Blizzard, NPC Masters Bikini competitor, and her coach, Holly Renee. So that's what we're doing right now. So, Holly, you just mentioned, I always have this pen in my hand.
I like it.
Let me get my good one.
I like it.
You just mentioned something that I always talk about in my videos and when I talk to other folks. You mentioned something about motivation. Now, I'm a firm believer that no matter who I train or coach, I cannot motivate them. For instance, and I say it this way, if they are laying on the couch, I cannot go over there and physically pick them up off the couch. But once they get themselves off the couch, then I can step in and do all kinds of wonders for them. Is that how you approach motivation?
Very much so. I always tell a lot of the girls when we have conversation, I look at it like this. A lot of days, because it's a feeling, some days you wake up and you're extremely motivated. Like some days you wake up, not even talking about fitness, some days you wake up and you're wide awake and you grab that cup of coffee, you're running out the door, you feel like you could take on the day and you can do everything in between. But then there are other days, because we're human, that you wake up and you hit snooze and you're like, I don't care how many shots of espresso I have today, this is going to be a hard day. And it's like, yet we're still dedicated to get to our jobs. Yet we're still dedicated to take care of our children. Yet we're still dedicated to do what we need to do. And it's like, yeah, motivation is a feeling, really. It's an emotion. It's not, dedicated day in and day out. You just do it whether you feel like it or not. And it's such a big thing, because I'm like, man, dedication is you getting up on the days that you're like, I don't want to go work out. I don't feel like working out. I don't want to be there. I don't feel like this is going to be a good workout. And yet you go anyway because you're dedicated to the result that you want.
Absolutely. Good. That's a great answer. Great answer. All right. So I'm going through some of the questions I wrote here. Okay. Laurie, what is the biggest thing that you can think of from the top of your head? I know, because we can go on for hours to answer this question. The biggest thing that Holly has done for you.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna make me cry. Don't no, Holly, and I've told her this. Honestly, Holly's become like a life coach for me. She may not be a life coach, but she's become a life coach for me. Holly has changed my life tenfold. I'll tell you, the thing that I am forever grateful is that she believed in me. And just the fact that she believed in me, it made me want to do it more. I am so grateful for that, because that just makes it, I'm gonna get verklempt.
Okay.
And she just
I'll let you off the hook if you need me to on this one.
And Holly has a saying that she says, and it's true, is we rise by lifting others. Holly truly rises by lifting all of us, and she wants us to succeed, and and for that's why I try to help others, because that she's continually wanting the best for us, and she also is always looking out for my best interest in my health. For sure. So it's been a journey, but yeah.
Okay.
She's done a lot. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, hang
She's done a lot.
Holly, I'm coming after you now. So what's been the hardest or the easiest thing you had to do with Laurie?
Oh gosh.
She's like, mute.
And if that's too personal, I completely understand, and everybody else will. So if you don't want to answer that, don't answer that.
No, not at all.
No, we're an open book.
Okay, I guess I'm talking about, all right, like she comes to the gym and it's leg day, and you're like, oh God, she complains all the time if I have her do a squat. I don't want to do this with her today, type thing. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what?
That makes sense.
And this you're probably gonna laugh at this. I want to say, and this is being fully transparent. It's not ever an issue of working out or growing muscles or anything like that. it literally is like we enjoy and have a good time. Like the hard part is when like the music is playing and we're having a good time to actually focus and do what we need to do, because it's like a dance party in there. It's all sorts of stuff in there. But really the training is her and her husband both are incredible. I literally, they'll send me videos of them working out at home. They'll go on vacation and send me, but it's truly become such a passionate lifestyle. And it's funny because I've known Laurie many years now, and it's when I met her, it wasn't that she wasn't vibrant and happy and, you know, personable and talking to people. That wasn't it. She was always like that. But then all of a sudden, it was almost like having that faith in her to see her step on stage. All of a sudden, it was like this light bulb moment that she was just passionate and vibrant. And I love to say, looking at their photos, even, I swear they're reverse aging. And I don't say that as like a flattery thing, because when you see them even together, they have this vibrancy about them. They have this, you know, passion for life. And it wasn't like they didn't do things before, but yet it's like all of a sudden this refresh. And I just think, you know,
that is truly, that's a really good word, because I truly feel for my husband as well, is Holly has given us a refresh of life.
It's been powerful.
And that's how we feel. We've been married 32 years. And
Congrats.
we've worked together side by side for 2 decades. And we are having the time of our life. We feel like we're 2 newly married kids. But we feel like we have a new lease on life. And Holly, that's what Holly has done. Holly has given us a new lease on life in our 50s. My husband just turned 59. And he left for this interview to go run. We're in trouble.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, that's great. Okay, now I have to go back. And when I stopped you before, I said I was going to ask you a question. My question was, when you started seeing changes, or maybe it wasn't starting to see changes, but when you had this newfound desire to start working out or start changing your diet habits or anything, how did your friends start treating you when they started noticing you doing things differently or actually physically seeing a change? How do they respond to you?
So there's some that are very supportive, and there was some that weren't as supportive, but it just, you know, that was what we wanted to do. And for the most part, I mean, the people that are still around were very supportive. There was just, you know, some that, because, you know, when we started cleaning up how we ate and everything, we didn't go out drinking as much, and
right.
things that we may have done before. And some friends that didn't, they wanted us to be able to go out and have a cocktail every night, and that just wasn't our lifestyle anymore. But our friends and family have been extremely supportive. And you know, when you get to the part of the competing, it was worlds different than what I had thought, you know, when I decided to compete. So
great. And once again, for those of us that are just joining us, I put I put your contact information. I put Holly, I put the link to your Facebook page in the chat, and also Laurie, your link to your Instagram page. So, and we'll talk about that later as well, but I want to make sure that everybody sees that on.
Sorry for the weird light. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. So all right, Laurie, I'm going to stick with you with this question. So you said that you gave up the lifestyle that you had, as in restaurants, drinks, things like that.
We still have fun, but
yeah, of course, yeah. And what was, if there even was there one thing that you just thought you could never ever give up that you did, and you look back now like, wow, that was
champagne. Champagne. She knows it. I love champagne. And I
Both
still
of you,
love,
that's great.
I still love the taste of champagne, but I just, Yeah, no, I used to love champagne. Oh my gosh. It doesn't love me back anymore. So, and it's not, I don't have anything against drinking or anything. It's just when I started really cleaning up my diet, you know, for prepping for the competition, it's just, I don't know why I have this strange light on me. Oh, and look who comes in from his run. Yeah, no, I just, you know, when I started cleaning up and I did a 6-month prep for my first competition, and I didn't have any alcohol. After that, I just realized that I don't so I probably have maybe 5 drinks in a whole year. And it's just a celebratory, but I'm happy with my sparkling water. And you know, so that was something that before I even took my 50th milestone birthday pictures drinking out of a bottle of champagne. So that's how much I changed. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So I got some diet questions or nutrition questions for you guys coming up. But before we do, Holly, I want to ask you this question, and I put this up here, and I know there was no segue into this, but I want to make sure I ask this because I think it's extremely important. So Laurie is a bikini competitor. So my question is, for those who don't know, what's the difference between a bikini competitor, bodybuilder?
You almost nailed it right there.
Bodybuilder and I do believe it's called figure. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
is the
it's
difference between the three?
going to be the density of your muscle. So bikini is more along the lines of a muscle tone and fullness, where they still look like that hourglass silhouette. So it's a lot softer looking. And then as you get into figure, and then you get into women's bodybuilding, the density and the thickness of the muscle, the you know, vascularity, the conditioning, where they look a lot more harder, where you can see everything.
Okay.
So she is that nice hourglass silhouette.
Okay, Laurie, you're being real annoying over there. You know
I'm
that?
sorry. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, it's just going to have to be. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
You should send Jeff to stand right in front of the light.
I just can't figure out why I have this light across my face, but go ahead. It's fine.
Okay, so either one of you two can answer this because I am sure you've gotten this before. And Holly, I know you have, being a trainer. How many times have you heard the phrase from a lady who wants to work out, but she says, "I just don't want to get bulky muscles. I can't work out."
Yeah. Okay. Let me take this one.
yeah. Okay. Go for it.
I love to tell women who have this perception in their head when they're like, "I don't want to get bulky," and I'm like, "Man, I've been trying to get bulky my whole life, and I definitely am not bulky. If it was that easy, let me tell you, I'd already be there." It's so much harder than people have this perception in their head. And it's funny because, you know, it's a perception where it's like, man, but I don't want to look like that. And I'm like, but you're not a man. Like, you don't have the testosterone and what you need in you to look like that. It's not going to happen.
I had one person I interviewed, this was several years ago, talked about this, and she was a female lifter, not a bodybuilder, not a competitor. She was just a personal trainer as well. And I'm going to be a little crude here. This is where the rated R portion of this comes out. She says she tells girls all the time, or ladies all the time, to ask her or say, "I don't want to get bulky." She says, "I got one question for you. Do you have a penis? If you don't worry about it."
That's that, yeah.
Because you're never going to
have what you need to get big.
Yeah. And I tell folks all the time, the ladies especially, I said, listen, the ones that you see on television that have the big bulky muscles and everything else, they work out for 8 to 10 hours a day. And if you're not willing to put that kind of time in, you're not going to have that kind of body. So don't worry about it.
Very hard. Yeah. It's very hard.
It's very difficult to get to that.
Yeah,
so,
certainly.
All that being said, so your training regimen, Laurie, what kind of training do you do to be at this in competition shape?
Well, it changes depending on the season I'm in. So when I'm on prep, I'm literally cutting and leaning out and to show the muscles that I've built. So it'll change a little bit. My body type though, I really don't have to do very much cardio because I will just be a lean bean. And so I'm kind of, and I have a very high metabolism. Holly's got my metabolism burning like that of a 19-year-old. So like I can just eat and eat. But it's changed because I started competing. Did my first prep it was March 3 years ago when I started my prep for my first competition, which was September of 2018. And it's changed. I mean, the amount of food I eat has changed. So where I'm at now, I am in my building season, my off season of competing. And this is where I am putting on the muscle. And so for right now, I do about 5 days a week of lifting. And we don't do powerlifting. It's a lot of slow and controlled movements. Holly's taught she's very big on form. We do resistance band training. And it's a lot of activating the muscles. I am upper body dominant. I lean out and I have the upper body with no problem. For me, I'm a taller woman. I'm over 5'8", and I have a long, lean body, long legs. So for me, legs and glutes are my toughest spot. So I work glutes as a primary at least 3 times a week. And right now I do very, very little cardio and I'm eating a ton. She just keeps giving me more food because we got to grow the muscles.
All right. So, now you mentioned the word prep several times.
Yes.
Now for the folks, I know what that means.
Yes.
For the folks that don't know what you mean by you're in your prep stage, what either one of you two can answer this.
Holly, you want to answer that?
Yeah. What does that mean?
I would say the difference between we always like to say like on season, off season, or a prep season where we're setting a goal of beginning to end on stage. So beginning, and then we're going to start descending food and calories and leaning out her body to stage, which would be a whole prep.
Okay. So
off season would be trying to more or less pull down the cardio, tone it down, build up muscle, add a lot of food and carbs in, and train for it to be a whole food that she's just growing muscle and keeping the scale of body fat minimal.
Okay. All right. Now, the way I approach things with my clients, because I work with people that are over 50, and my thing is, I tell them, if your goal is to show off your body on stage, I'm probably not the guy you want to trainer. No. And because my philosophy is look better, feel better, be more confident about yourself. All right. Now, I tell them all the time, if you want to go that stage route, I can push you off to somebody that works out that way or trains that way, because it's a whole different philosophy.
Right.
And what was
there has to be some real balance in it.
And stage lean is not year-round
unrealistic.
You don't stay stage lean that's just for stage. And it's short-lived. So it's not a life, not something that you can sustain year-round. So
I tell people, it's like if it's like at the peak of your training is where you're prepping to be at the very top fit form that you want to be at to when you show off your body on stage. If that makes any sense right there at all. So, all right, going through here. Now I'm jumping all around because now I have questions, and believe me, if you listen to my stuff before, I jump all around here. All right.
That's okay.
So, all right, Holly, this is for you being a trainer. Do you have a personal philosophy about working out or training? And before I answer that, because I've caught several people off guard with that question, and I don't mean to. I said, for instance, my philosophy is, and I just told you part of it, if you're looking to be on stage, I'm not the guy for you, because I like to keep things simple, and I'm more the body weight type person where you can work out in your living room if you so choose. Can I train you at the gym? Sure. But do I? Usually not. I don't know the last time I've been into a gym. Now, granted, I have my own little gym downstairs in my house, and that's why I personally work out. So all that being said, and I know I'm hogging up the time here and I don't want to, do you have a personal philosophy or a philosophy that you think about or you promote when you train?
So a lot of the times and this is going to kind of come off a little bit probably aggressive in this manner, but
good, it's fine.
I'm very much cautious about who we take on as family, and not that, again, because you're not going to be for everybody. You know what I mean? You might be everybody's cup of tea, but you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And it's really, really important to me, the mindset of people that we're bringing in, really. And my biggest thing is, yes, I can train you. And I mean, I personal train a lot of people. And again, we have quite a few girls who like to compete, but it is a mentality. So it's like, I very much, Laurie nailed it earlier, where I believe in you rise by lifting others. And it's a really big thing to me. We just launched like a brand, and the brand itself is built under pressure. Because I believe that, like that is definitely a life philosophy for me, but it's a mindset and a mentality, because I want everybody that we're taking on to grow in life in general, and not necessarily like, hey, if your goal is stage, great, we can get there. But what are we doing along the way to make you a better person? Like, what are we doing to actually help you as a mom, as a wife, in life, and self-help internally, that you have that happiness about you. So it's really big to me that, it's a mindset of people that I'm looking to always bring.
Good. All right. Once again, I'm going to jump around here. This is a quote that Laurie gave me, so I want to make sure we talk about this, because when people see, for instance, Laurie, because your picture's out there several places in your Instagram, and if you just look
from the lady that was afraid to go public,
Yeah.
How that's changed.
Hey, believe me, with that body, you shouldn't be afraid at all. And I'm full respect, all right? So, and I'm sure you've gotten this before, and Holly, I know you've gotten this before being a trainer. People talk about steroids. Well, she's got to be on steroids, having those kind of muscles.
Oh, I love those questions.
Yeah. And now, granted, when we get older, it's people say it's harder to develop the muscles. I don't know if I agree with that or not. But going back to my younger years, in a 3-month span when I was in college, now granted, this is younger, I was in college, 2-month span, matter of fact, I started hitting the weights hard with my buddies. And when I left college, when I came back, my waist had shrunk, my upper body got big, I had arms like a gorilla. And people were thinking I was taking steroids. I said, the biggest steroid I'm taking is Mountain Dew, and I drink Mountain Dew. Yeah. So when people approach you about the steroid thing, how do you react to it? Either one of you.
You want me to go?
Yeah, sure.
Well, you want me to take this one? So I find that really fascinating. And Laurie could tell you, and I'm sure because you're on these pages and forums, you've seen this. I always find it fascinating, because instantly it is a go-to of, well, they must be taking XYZ, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. And granted, I will be the first person to, I'm sure, step on a few toes and say many bikini competitors are on XYZ. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, when you even throw that out there, people are like, and I'm like, listen. I've been very, very blunt. And even with the girls that I coach, I'm very, very blunt about, to each their own. Mm-hmm. If you take it, that is your decision. That's your choice. If you don't, that is your decision, and that's your choice. To each their own. But it's not necessarily needed to just grow in size if you're doing it right. And honestly, I mean, it's crazy to me how many people, even with Laurie, she's a perfect example. She'll get on those forums and she'll post a before and an after. And I cannot tell you how many people are like, this is either photoshopped or you're on something. Mm-hmm.
I've had a few that have accused me of using somebody else's picture.
Yes.
The last one, I got a message saying that was really good Photoshop.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I take it as a compliment, but I'm like, no, so, you know, somebody said, you know, the body structure is different. I mean, yeah, it's called body fat. I got rid of the body fat. You know, and that just cracks me up and, or, you know, she must be doing something. And,
Yeah.
And not to say that there's a problem, there's an issue with that. I don't even use protein powders. Everything is whole food.
Supplements.
I eat 6 times a day. I eat 6 meals, full meals every day. You know, I take you know, for supplements, it's vitamins. I do use collagen and a pre-workout, and that's literally it. That's, you know, it's food. It's all done with food and working out. And I got pretty fired up in one of the pages a couple of days ago because somebody in an over 40 page was told by her trainer that the only way she's going to build muscle is, and she's literally just starting out, is to take steroids. And can't tell you how many women said, fire him now.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
true.
Yeah.
Oh. It's sad though that is the perception. It really is. And I mean, there's nothing, I always tell like all of them, I'm like, you know, when you're stepping on stage, like 9 chances out of 10, you know, some of the people that are on stage with you are not natural. And the fact that you can get up there naturally and do your thing, hey, more power to you. You know, it is truly, I mean, it's a personal preference, but not necessarily needed, especially in bikini, not necessarily like a needed thing.
Right. Well, and I totally agree with you. If that's something you want to do, go for it. I personally, I'm proud to say this, I've never put any kind of foreign substance outside of alcohol in my system. Right. I mean, I've never even smoked a cigarette, not even put an unlit cigarette to my mouth, and I'm proud to say that. Now, have I had the option to have steroids in the past? Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
And you being a trainer, Holly, if you wanted to tomorrow, you can go out and find them. I know you can, and don't acknowledge it one way or the other. But
don't say nothing.
It's readily available if we want to find it. But you know, it's a personal choice not to. And I applaud the folks that, you know, work hard and not take them. So this is a topic we can discuss for hours.
Oh,
I'm not going to. All right. So Laurie, you told me you were ambassador athlete for several companies. You want to go ahead and plug them?
Sure. And I represent companies that I believe in, that I have used myself. I get approached often, but I only represent the ones that I truly believe in. I am an athlete representative of Muscle Egg, which is I have been using daily. It's flavored egg whites. And it's a purest form of protein. And it's delicious, and you wouldn't know that you can drink it. You wouldn't know you're drinking egg whites. It's absolutely delicious. So I have been using Muscle Egg for about 3 years, and I truly, truly believe in it. I also am a representative. I do wear a waist trainer. The reason I wear a waist trainer, along with everything else I do, is because I have a naturally very boxy frame. I do have abs, but if I don't cinch them, my obliques will stick out and I'll be a square on stage. So I wear Squeeze Me Skinny waist trainers, and I'm a representative for their company as well.
Okay.
It also, I use it instead of a weight belt. It supports my core, keeps my core tight, keeps my back, supports my back, and has created the hourglass for stage. And then I'm also a bikini athlete for Angels Competition Bikinis, which is the bikini that I've wore the last couple of shows, and it's the only company that I will wear from here on out. And also the Shoe Fairy, which is competition shoes. So, yeah.
Okay, I got a question about these waist trainers, because I have never heard of this before. Now, granted, I don't do nearly what you ladies do in competition-wise, so my clients are not like this at all. So what exactly are waist trainers?
So it cinches, and it's similar to like a corset, but it's but you can wear it. But you wear it. It's for, I can wear it in the gym. I can wear it. It helps helps me sweat more if I do cardio. Helps brace my back and my core in my lifts, and it literally creates the hourglass. So it cinches the waist to take me from a boxy frame to a hourglass.
So it can be worn. It doesn't have to be at the gym. It could be worn.
No, and actually,
right.
And actually, when a woman starts wearing it, you wear it a little longer each day. And I've been wearing them for 3 years. I don't need to wear mine all day long, but I do actually like to wear it under my work clothes because it actually gives me back support at work. The longer you wear it, the more. But my waist has gone from here to on stage I have a 23-inch waist on stage, and in my off season and even in my off season I have a 24-inch waist on my off season, and when I take it off it doesn't go back.
So is this just for ladies, or is it guys?
No.
Okay.
No. Men. A lot of Holly can answer that. There's men that do competitions that wear them as well, right?
Listen, I've seen somebody pick up my waist trainer and put it on and go work out, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like,
no,
okay, you should not have a 200 pounds of muscle the same size waist as me.
I don't think they make one for my size. I'm not their typical trainer that shows off his abs or anything like that.
I mean, on the opposite side of that. Women that wear it. We have cute lace designs and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Now also, and you guys both talk about this one. Laurie told me about this. You've launched a limited edition glute band.
Yes.
So what is a glute band? First of all, what is this?
Holly.
So a lot of and I mean it's really a big thing, of course, with resistant bands, especially with competitors. I think really that's when I really started getting into resistance band training, because as you get more fatigued, and you'll know this as a trainer, as you have a little less fuel in you and a little bit more fatigued, it gets very, very more of a dangerous aspect to be lifting a ton of heavy weight. So doing a repetitive volume movement with some resistance from a band works out fantastic to keep your joints and everything in order as you're dialing down for stage. However, I absolutely love, like we're very, very big about warming up hip flexors and rotator cuffs, because those are always big injuries for people who have back issues, shoulder issues. So we're really big about always making sure that hip flexors and everything are nice and warmed up, and it's a repetitive movement. So it just made sense that we put a band out there because we're using them all the time, and we had to make it really fun. We put donut print on it, so we had to make it fun, you know.
A donut print.
Yes, a donut print one. You can't even wear them.
All right. If I got something I want to show you guys here, and I don't know, because I've never done this before with several people on here. So, it's not there. Where is it? I'm starting it. Okay. So I got some pictures here. Uh-oh is right. Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Okay, there. Can you guys both see that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, now that's the picture that Laurie sent me about you two. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the next picture here, Laurie.
I know. See, this is reverse aging.
Laurie, you want to talk about this one? This is you, right? This is you.
Yeah. So that the left picture was shortly before I just started my whole fitness journey. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a cocktail in my hand there too.
Champagne.
That is me in a decade, and literally, I turned 53 in January. I feel younger and better than not only the girl on the left, but I feel younger and better than I did when I was even in my 30s. I feel And it's not just the look. I feel like I have reversed age inside too. So.
Okay. And then the next picture. This is Lynn.
So that is I finished my 2020 season, and I would like to touch on something. You talked about like home workouts. When the pandemic hit, I panicked because I didn't have hardly any gym equipment at home. I've only been in a public gym once in the last year. Holly does lately. I do personal training with her 2 days a week, but I panicked when that happened, and I quickly kicked it into gear. And I finished my 2020 season in December by standing on the national stage, where I did 95% of the work from my home. And in the beginning, I had very little gym equipment. I had to get creative. I did walking lunges with my vacuum cleaner across my back. I used gallon water jugs for weights.
Good for you.
And I just found ways. And with that, I started posting on my Instagram, and I grew a following because I realized if I can do this, I wanted to help other women and men realize that just because this pandemic hit and we're at home does not mean we have to give up on our goals. So I made a biggest goal I've ever had to stand on the national stage. And I ending December 2020 standing on the national stage. And I took sixth in the over 50 in my over 50 category. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I got this one.
That one is in my home gym, and I took my daughter's old bedroom, and I said, okay, you've been gone long enough. I now have to turn it into a gym. And that's just sitting on my gym floor and in my my lift above. My lift above is the name of her business, and so I am a lift above bikini girl.
See, because I got this picture, and sorry about this, Holly, but I got it off of your Facebook page. It looks like, well, this doesn't look like Holly, but is it Laurie? I don't know which one. It's one of those. I don't know who it is.
That's me.
So there you go. So that's what I got there. Okay. So, ladies, I know. Oh my gosh, I've got. I have to look on the other screen to see here. Man, I've been hogging you guys up for way too long here. Sorry about that. So, ladies, plug something here. What do you have? Tell me your IG account, your Facebook pages, anything you want to plug. Go ahead.
So my Instagram page, should I just spell it out or?
No, I have it linked here, but go ahead and spell it out if you want to. I already have it linked earlier.
So it's Blizz, Blizz, which my last name is Blizzard, so that's where that came from. _ fit over 50. And my goal has become to turn my passion, which this is a passion, into I have a purpose now of helping others realize that no matter what age we start, I didn't start till I was 45. Our limits, our potential is limitless, and we can do anything. And I want more people to stop saying I'm too old and it's too late. Because I said it way too long, and I want more women to realize we're not too old and we can do anything. And Holly will give hers, but also I do want to plug Holly. Holly has taken this pandemic and
wild.
And like she took it. She has helped so many women and men this year, growing her online coaching business, helping people at home with online nutrition. She is now coaching 2 international women as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, I will say a lot of them are our ages, Andrew, because they've seen what she can do for me. And she's helped a lot of people in their 40s, 50s, and so on. And so I want to make sure she brings that up, and she's doing amazing and helping so many people.
Fantastic. All right, Holly, how can people find you, Holly? What's going on?
So Instagram is fantastic. It's very simple. Trainer Holly Renee is where you can find us. Or if you search Laurie. For sure, you will find me on there. Yeah.
Okay. And now I also linked to your because it's the only one I knew. I linked to your Facebook page.
Perfect. That will.
It's, what is it? Facebook.com lift above.
Yeah, that will work.
Okay, fantastic. So, ladies, once again, thank you for being here. This has been fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
And if there's any parting words you'd like to say, feel free to jump in and say them now.
We seriously thank you. That it's always great to have conversation with other people that are in the industry.
Andrew, do you have a minute? Can I put
Sure.
my husband?
Yeah, absolutely. Get him on here. Absolutely.
He just and
Hey, Andrew.
hello there.
Hello.
when you saw that, okay, so I got to give him. When you saw that light shining across me, it's because it's coming out of our office. He stood for 20 minutes to block the light.
Well,
So
I knew it. I
he's
knew it.
awesome.
Good for him. Good for him.
It's definitely, yeah.
No, I just did a 2-mile run along some canals to work off some work stress, and the canals are like 30 seconds from our office. So it's all
Good for you. So now, do we refer to you as Laurie's husband?
What's that?
Do we refer to you as Laurie's husband?
No, this is Jeff.
Oh,
Okay.
she's my wife. No, I'm just
Yeah, because she's in the spotlight tonight is why, what the heck?
Yes.
I'm super proud of her
But-
and Holly. And Holly is super modest. She's she's like family to us. We love you, Holly.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna just say really quick before we sign up. I could not do what I do without his support.
That's for sure. He's such a good supporter.
He is my number one fan. He's very supportive, and if I didn't have that, I couldn't go for my dreams. And I mean, we worked together. He ran our office for a week all by himself and was going crazy while I was in Arizona for nationals. But he did it because he knew that was important to me. So
Awesome. I love hearing stuff like that. Love hearing stuff like that. So, ladies, I also I always ask this, first of all, if anybody's watching or listening and they didn't write anything down for whatever reason, you can always send me a message and I'll get it to Laurie or Holly. So don't worry about wrecking as you're driving or something. Don't do that. So we can always get something for you. I want to. If this is a no, I completely understand, but I like to reserve the right to ask you guys to come back another time.
Oh, it's awesome. Absolutely.
All right. Fantastic. Well, all right.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome. So anybody watching right now, once again, visit the IG pages, the Facebook pages, the websites are all linked there. Go for it and everything else. Once again, I want to thank my guest this evening, NPC Masters Bikini competitor, bodybuilder Laurie Blizzard, and her coach, Holly Renee. Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thank you.
And this has been a wonderful time. Great. This is Top Fitness Strategies. Come back another time. Visit the site. You guys know what to do. So until next time, this is Laurie, Holly, and myself. Ciao.
Thank you.